All right, it's day 9. It's Saturday, and we're going to take it onto our mat today. So let's get down there. So today we're going to keep our yoga practice on the mat today. We might use a few props, so if you have some blocks or a strap or anything that you want to get ready, please feel free to grab those right now. What I'm going to do is get you to start off. As you see, I'm sitting on my heels. Now this is just a very simple exercise that we can do that strengthens our feet. So if you can sit here, it can be quite painful. Strengthens your toes, strengthens all those little muscles down there, but it can become quite painful. I remember when I had an ankle injury a couple years ago, this is one of the exercises I had to do to build back up those little muscles and strengthen up the tendons down in my ankle and my feet. So again, if you can sit for a few minutes like this every day, you may not even make it to a minute. It might be 30 seconds to start. It's a great place to really get all of those little muscles strengthened up. All right, and I've been sitting like this for already about a minute or so, so I'm ready to get off. And again, you can always just bring it down now to your feet and just stretch out your toes just a little bit there. All right, so let's bring our heads down now. We're going to start off in just child's pose, and let's just work on our breath onto our child's pose here. So placing your hands down beside. Again, if you need your block to place your head on that block, you could do so. No pinching in your neck, just really relaxing. Sometimes you might even need a block or a rolled up towel, probably a little bit more comfortable than a block, underneath your bum to help it. So you can have a block in front and a block in back, or a towel in back, whatever is comfortable. And just going to make sure that you can just lay here relaxed, inhaling, creating that space in your belly, feeling it rise, feeling like it's filling up like a balloon. And then exhale, all the air goes out. Today we're just going to do a short practice. It was a little bit longer yesterday. Good, and on our next inhale, slowly start to bring yourselves back up. We're going to come to our table pose on all fours here. Good, let's do our cat-cow, which is one of my favorites to stretch up and warm up the spine. Inhaling, open, exhale. Now when we talk about the breath, yesterday we were doing our flow and we were doing it each breath. Well, sometimes your breath gets a little bit messed up in some of these. That's the only mistake you can really make in yoga when it comes to the breath is don't hold your breath. So if I'm telling you you're supposed to be exhaling and you're inhaling, that's okay. Just work on it, and like I said, as you practice, it'll get easier and easier. Good. Getting all warmed up now. Let's bring it down into puppy pose. Walking your hands all the way out, dropping your chin and your chest towards the floor. Again, you can have it up on a block or a pillow. You can have your forehead down on the mat if you can reach, or a little bit deeper, you bring your chin down, stretching it out. Good. From here, let's go all the way down onto our bellies. Good. And we're going to bring our hands up underneath us in Sphinx pose. So our elbows are directly under our shoulders, palms splayed out, middle finger points forward, and all the other fingers are equally distance away from that middle finger. And you're really going to pull back with your elbows towards your abdomen. Lift up, don't hunch in your shoulders. You really want to lift that chest forward, relax your shoulders. Feel that gentle stretch in your abdomen. Try and keep your legs and your buttocks nice and relaxed. Don't tense them up. Good. Coming back down. Bringing your hands now on either side of your chest. And we're going to come up into Cobra. Now Cobra is one of those ones where your arms are there to just kind of support you, but you really want to be using your back. So you're going to inhale, and again, if I lift my arms off, I should be able to hold it, but they're just kind of there as support. So you're using those lower back muscles, no pinching. Keep breathing. And releasing down. Good. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go into the first phase of up dog, where we're still going to leave our thighs on the floor, and we're going to push up. Now we're using our arms, keeping our elbows in, our triceps are engaged, shoulders are relaxed, breathing. If you can push all the way up, straightening out your arms, you go right ahead. Again, no pinching in your lower back. You should just feel a nice stretch. Contracting those muscles, stretching the abdominals. And bringing it all the way down. We can rest in crocodile pose, placing one hand on the other and resting your cheek on your hands. And we'll do one more up dog with our thighs off if you're ready for it. If you're not, just go into the one of your choice that we just went through. So this time again, hands on either side of your chest. You're going to tuck your toes and you're going to lift up into upward facing dog. Your thighs are lifted and engaged. Glutes are engaged slightly. Not too tight, just slightly engaged. Good. Now from here, whatever pose you're in, I want you to engage your core, start to lift up, tuck your toes if they weren't tucked, and go into our downward facing dog. Let's just stretch it out here. This is as high as we're going to go today. Good. Nice deep breath. Relax. Coming forward into our nice plank pose, holding it here for 10 seconds. Breathing. Dropping down to our knees, keeping our elbows in, and slowly lowering, engaging your triceps all the way down to the floor. All right, let's do our lower body now, so that we can eventually go up into boat pose. So what we're going to do is keep our legs, again, hip distance apart, placing our palms flat on either side. And then we're going to inhale. Exhale all the air out. And then on your next inhale, I want you to lift your feet off the floor. Your hips are really pushing into the floor. If this is too painful for your hip bones, you can always place a blanket underneath. Good. Release, bringing your hands up. Resting on the other cheek this time. Good. Now let's do that again. Again, inhaling in. Exhale all the air out. And then on your next inhale, lifting up. Keeping your head down. You can either rest your forehead down if you like, on your nose, but no strain in your neck. And release. Good. Rest for a moment. And now we'll come up. We'll be lifting our head and our legs this time. So really kind of stretching both sides. If you're not ready to go into this, then that's all right. You can actually just do one or the other. You can do your cobra, up dog, or you can just lift your lower legs. So again, inhale. Exhale it all out. And then inhale, lifting your head, lifting your legs, breathing. Good. Releasing your arms down. Now this is just getting us warmed up for our next pose. Usually what we like to do is warm up even a little bit more, but I'm just going to show you this pose because we may do it down the road in one of our other videos, and it's sometimes one of those ones that's better to explain it. So what you're going to do is, now that we've warmed up our back a little bit, we're going to grab our ankles And again, this might be enough for you. This might be as far as you can go and enough of a stretch for you, and that's fine. But what we're trying to do here is bringing everything up just like we did in the previous one. And again, same thing. On the inhale, you're coming up. You're lifting your chest, you're lifting your thighs. Now we're not overly warm as far as we haven't just gone through a full flow class and then coming down. So we may not be able to go up as much as we have before. Good, release it down. But it gives us a good, nice stretch in our back. Now let's come up into our child's pose, this time with our arms out in front. We're releasing our back a little bit. I'll show you what I mean by the blanket. Up underneath if we need to. Arms out in front, coming back into child. So that will help you if you can't bring your buttocks all the way down to your heels. Your pose can look just like this. Nice and relaxed. Good. Feeling the stretch in your back right now. Excellent. One more breath here. Back bends definitely warm your system up when you're doing them, so you don't ever want to finish your practice with a back bend because you really want to cool down. So bringing yourself up now. We're going to do a couple more exercises up on our knees, and then we'll do a cool down. Forward folds and forward bends are what you use to cool your body down. So you might be feeling a little bit warm and tingly right now after doing a few of those back bends. So what I'm going to get you to do is up onto your knees here. I want you to place your foot out to the side. So your left foot can come out to the side, and you're just going to put your foot flat on the ground. You're just going to be nice and tall. And I want you to bend your knee and slowly start to come out to the side. So your knee is going to be over top of your ankle, so you may have to adjust your foot slightly so that your knee is perpendicular. Your ankle is perpendicular. And you're really feeling a nice stretch in your inner thigh, in your groin. Again, if it's too painful for the knee that's on the ground, put your blanket underneath. Give yourself a little bit of cushion or support, especially if you're doing it like me on hardwood or tile or something. You know, if you're on carpet, which, you know, I don't recommend, but if that's the only surface you have, that's fine. It can be a little hard on the knee. The reason I don't recommend carpet is just because when you're trying to do balancing poses, sometimes it can throw your balance off a little. A hard surface is always better. Good. Inhaling up. Then what I'm going to get you to do is take your right arm, place it on the floor, lift up that left leg. And so yesterday we practiced that half moon pose while we were in our Warrior Two. And that can be difficult for a lot of people. This would be kind of your precursor to it. If you just want to practice this, it gets your balance going. You engage your core, your glutes, everything is kind of firing here. So if you can't do it in a full standing position, you can definitely do it this way. Good. Now bring your leg down. Slowly start to come up. Straighten out that leg again. And then what we're going to do is put a slight bend in this knee. You're going to inhale your arm up. Exhale. Reach. Good. Keeping that chest open, engaging your abdominals. And inhaling, coming back. Let's do that on the other side now. Straightening that leg out, sitting nice and tall, kneeling nice and tall, I guess. And then you're going to start to bend that knee. Bring it directly over top of that ankle. Keep the knee open. You may even have to use your hand to kind of open that knee to really feel the stretch on the inner thigh. Chest is nice and lifted. You should be able to see your big toe. If you look down, just like when we're in Warrior One, when we're in Warrior Two and we're looking down, you always want to be able to see that big toe because that means that your knee hasn't flopped in too much. Good. Bringing it up, dropping the left hand down. Bring the right arm up into that nice straight vertical line. Your leg and your spine and your head should be in a nice horizontal line. Holding it, engaging your core, engaging your glutes. Starting to feel a little shake, that's all right. Good. Slowly start to come up. Now, slight bend in that knee. Inhale, the arm comes up and over, stretching out our side body. Good. One more deep breath. Coming back to center. Excellent. Bringing your knees together. Coming down into a seated position. We're going to do a wide leg forward fold. Here, again, however open that you can get them. They may only be at this far, that's okay. We're not too warm today, so I wouldn't expect you to be able to go too far. You can sit up on a blanket, which again might help tilt your pelvis forward a little bit. Pull the skin or the flesh out from behind. We're going to sit nice and tall. On the inhale, the chest lifts, the spine lengthens, and on the exhale, you start to come forward. And wherever you feel is enough stretch for you, you might be sitting perfectly straight up tall. You might even feel like you're falling backwards. Some people have really tight hips and they can't even bring themselves forward. So you're working on really engaging that core, trying to sit yourself tall, and that's where a blanket might help kind of tilt you forward a little bit, make it a little bit easier. So let's walk ourselves over to our left side. And again, lift and lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward. Inhale, coming back, all the way to the other side. Lift that chest on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, coming up. Slowly bend your knees. Bring your feet together. And now we're going to just do a one-legged forward fold. So bring your left foot so that the sole of your foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Knees bent. You can inhale your arms up. And you're just going to reach forward just like we would for our regular fold, except it's maybe able to go a little bit deeper because we're only doing only your one leg is forward. Your one-legged forward fold here. Nice. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, go a little deeper. And now our body's starting to cool down a little bit. Inhaling, coming up. Other leg comes forward. Right sole of the foot on the inside of the left thigh. Inhaling up. Exhale, again, reaching forward. If you need your strap, go ahead and use it. That's what it's there for. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhaling, coming up. Good. Let's lay on our backs. We're going to do a supine twist before we end up in our corpse pose for today. Nice, easy work for today. Showing you how you can work out on the mat. You don't ever have to stand up. I can do a full hour-long class on the mat. And those are sometimes the hardest ones. So laying back, placing your feet flat on the floor, airplane your arms out. I want you to lift your bum up and put your hips 2 inches to the right. And then you're going to lift your knees up, and then you're going to drop them to the left. And if you can drop them all the way down, while keeping your right shoulder on the ground, then go ahead and do that. If you can't, if that right shoulder is lifting off, and you can't quite get your knees down, again, a block, blanket, whatever, if you need some support to rest, you can go ahead and put it there. You're going to take your head and look in the opposite direction. So we're looking over the right shoulder, keeping that right shoulder down as we're bringing our knees to the left side. Trying to stack our knees on top of each other, ankles on top of each other. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can straighten those legs. And one step deeper, take the top leg, place it underneath the bottom leg, and you can try and grab that big toe. So whatever is working for you today, however deep you can stretch, however flexible you are in your torso twist, go ahead. Now, inhale. If you didn't have your knees bent, bend your knees, bring it back up to the center. Place your feet down, lift your hips up, and put them 2 inches to the center, or to the left off of the center, bringing your knees up. dropping all the way to the right, keeping that left shoulder down, looking over that left shoulder. And again, you can straighten your legs if you feel like you need to go deeper. You can tuck that top leg underneath the bottom and grab the big toe. Fortunately, I can't on this side, my wall's in the way. Good, a nice stretch here. And inhale, bring it back to center. Bring your hips back to center, arms in. Bring your knees up into your chest. Get your socks, get your sweater, your blanket, whatever you need. Get yourself into corpse pose or Shavasana today. You're going to open your feet like a book, relax your thighs, make sure your pelvis is in a neutral position. Roll your shoulder blades down and away, palms up on either side. Tuck the chin in slightly. Begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. Unfortunately, the day here today is not too bright and shiny. So my thought for today is, some days you need to create your own sunshine. Have a beautiful and balanced Saturday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.